Alright, it's mad late, so, or, way after I've played the matches. So these videos are coming out very, very late today. My apologies. But yeah, these are the last set of matches for today. This one against Don't Rematch was I was going to finish this one and, wrap it up here, but I made a mistake, as you'll see further into this playthrough. I made a critical error. Was it an error? Potentially. Potentially it was a mistake. But then, yeah, you'll see that as once we get there. Had to do these. I wanted to play this one and just wrap it up with, but I ended up losing because the mistake. So I had to play another one again. Every time I play singles, it always ends up this way. I don't know if it's because I have to play the extra match or I'm tired or whatever. It's probably a combination of both. But yeah, this is going to come out way late. Taking out Felix here because I feel like he's the only one that's a real threat. But then also I could have just stood behind the structures. And then, maybe he wouldn't have been able to warp behind me. That's really what I was counting on. Not having him warp behind me. So that's why I took him out. That was my main concern. Lynn, the enemy Lynn, is the next big threat. She's in a spot that I don't like, but we have Goldvig for now to deal with that. And yeah, it's banking on turn 2, being able to get over there and take out Lynn, the enemy Lynn, because once we do that, then it's GG's. We should be able to clear the map from there. Oh yes, I remember what happened now. you're gonna see it. Something very interesting. I should point out that Elm, I saw this in Luigi's video. Elm is actually able to inflict undefended multiple times, not just once per turn. He can inflict it multiple times. So if you dance Elm and end his action again, you can inflict undefended on a different unit mid-turn. So just wanted to point that out, but separately, my error here kind of revolves around that, but then also not exactly. So you see the range here and the fact that the majority of my units are currently in Lynn's range, and then Athos came down into a spot with the Lynn ring that is very threatening. And ideally, my goal would be to, do this with Thor, but traps, if either of those are real, it's GG's, I've already lost. And also she's failing to take out either of those units because debuffs are still a thing, and I have no cleansing for Thor here. It's always interesting how or for me personally, when I think about it, it's interesting how they remove the penalty neutralization effect from Clash, and then Excel got damage reduction flat DR. And then in some of these matchups with Thor, the penalty neutralization, at least in Ather raids, would actually be hugely beneficial in terms of being able to maybe taking out some of these units, maybe not. Thor just doesn't hit very hard when she's running Gale Force sometimes. But yeah, you can see Lynn is my primary target. And because I can't end her turn again, because every other turn, that's how Baby Goldvig works. So we can try to take out Lynn, but she's getting, first off, far saved by Grima with Hardy Bearing, which is an interesting pick. I never actually expected to see her again. Fallen? Was she on the Fallen banner? Rearm Grima. I don't think it was the Fallen banner, just Rearm Grima. Didn't expect to see her in a long time for now. I wonder if they're going to give... maybe not. They're probably not going to give rearmed units refines. They're just going to keep updating the weapons. But yeah, this right here, nearest unit within 5 spaces is who the undefended gets inflicted on. And it ended up being... female Robin instead of Lynn, which does not help me, it being on female Robin, because I could have already sniped her because she's not getting covered by Far Save. The unit that I needed it to be inflicted on was Lynn, and unfortunately its nearest unit within 5 spaces. Perhaps if I had taken out Robin and then, but also I was tired and I did not think about that. So this now is a huge problem that forced me to surrender because I had no more space to work with, really. So yeah, don't rematch got me there. Probably should have waited, but also didn't have enough space to wait. Use a different approach. Could have probably done that. Tried to melee Gale Force with a Camilla team or something, but I don't know, man. I was just feeling the Lin vibes. It's been so easy so far. But this team is probably what I should have used to clear that particular map. Failure, that one's totally on me. Yeah, ladders. That's what ladders are for, thankfully. At some point, I'll probably get rid of the healing tower because, I mean, honestly, it's not even needed at this point, especially when I'm not even taking damage. With some of the matchups this Astra season, I'm not really tanking, so I'm not taking any damage for there to be damage to be healed. So why use the healing tower? And then also you can heal externally through other sources. And then also most units have like some type of finish effect in weapon, ace kill, something of that nature. But here we go. This one is, again, yet another showcase of how fantastic Layla is. Didn't really do as much as in the previous match, but definitely was super, super important to getting the ball rolling here. She is the reason that we're able to clear this particular map. I don't want to say, not that the rest of the team isn't important, Elm and everyone else, but this really, I think, is going to be Layla's team. Layla and Tana. They're the mobility units.
Why not?
And they work yet another good combination.
I will bring forth my
so yeah, we're just clearing through. I did make a mistake that I had to compensate for, but it worked out really, so it wasn't the worst thing in the world. You'll see that as well as we go further along.
I am not sure. I will bring forth my
Ather being tanky, Thor also failing me. Did not want to initiate here with Elm on Ather because I wanted to save Elm for the Erica matchup because I wasn't sure if Crom would have been able to help me out in that Erica matchup, so wanted to save Elm's action for a little bit. This is all about decision making and whether or not you fail to make the right decision can lead to you just losing the match, which you would have seen me do earlier or in the previous video. Earlier actually. It all comes down to this decision making in terms of whether or not you win or lose. I decided to take the shot here at Ather because I wanted to ensure that Tana was able to get Gale Force off, which again is something that I mentioned, but there isn't really a way for me to fix it on her unless I were to drop her running attack speed clash in the seal slot and giving her like quicken pulse, or heavy blade. Well, I don't think she can combo heavy blade with what she does, so it'd have to be special cooldown, which means less attack and speed. So not a lot of room for compromise with Tana. I kind of have to run her as she is and then make sure that Thor is somewhere nearby so that she can get that special acceleration that way. Usually how the team works is that she would reposition Thor up and then the dancer would warp in, dance Tana, and then Tana would be able to attack, and then the chain would get going like that. But lately it hasn't been going that way. I haven't been using it in that capacity, but it still works, just more thinking involved, which sometimes I probably don't have the capacity mentally to do. We do take this kill with Elm. Wins the speed check, I think. I don't remember. I believe so. And this is the reason that I saved him, because Vantage on Erica is really strong, especially if you have her invested. I think I have mine at +8 now. I have the final 2 copies, but I just haven't used them yet. I don't know, I'm just sitting on them. I don't know why. I also have a few copies of Tamara that I'm also just sitting on. Maybe not a few, I think just one. She's like +6. I should probably work on getting her to +10 because she's a pretty decent unit. Blue is a good color currently in the meta, although that might change at some point, but I feel like she's still a competent unit, just waiting on a new A skill and a new B skill so that she can function optimally. I do imagine that there'll be something better than Legoose Friend for her in the future, just not right now. I really wonder what, or if that B skill from Larse would actually work on Gold Mary, because she's another one of those units that I'm looking to, like I said before, improve. She doesn't really have, Gold Mary doesn't really have the bulk to be an enemy phaser, so I'm probably looking to transition her to a player phase melee nuke, but work in progress, merges, stuff like that, even though I don't even think I'm going after merges anymore, especially not after this month when I've looked at my build for top heroes. I'm spending way too much money in that game. But yeah, hopefully next month I'm planning to show way more restraints. It's just impulses. I'm sure you've all had them. But Elm here, taking out the peony because why not? Don't need the maps, the pots for this, since this is the last one. We're just going to take out Duma. I have no idea when the defense replays are going to come out. I haven't even recorded them yet. It was a really, I don't know how to say, interesting week. But yeah, gonna probably record those after this and then put them out later, if not tomorrow, depending on how I feel, because got a commentary on those too, because, you know,